you're back to normal. This year's for you, for Cate, for me. You'll move the whole thing forwards. You look dated in a shiny suit. You look stupid on a Segway bike. Cheeks both glowing as you walk the hill. Tiny little headache, but you pop up pill. Murder in the dark, cider in the park. Riding on a pony, looking laughable. The children try to stop me, so I ride into the sun. Chewing on a brick, banking on a tip. Fencing for a living, yes you look good, but you can't afford to show me. With my heart I wish you well. Face like a horoscope, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. Show up into your face, looking for attention, but your past is surfacing. A bloody game. The more you try, the less you get, which seems such paradise. Longing for your own success is waving a goodbye. Face like a horoscope, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. Show up into your thing, looking for attention, but your past is killing you and all your friends.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the Thursday night live stream. Hold just one moment while I adjust my microphone. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you like that song that let us in. Y'all, I am obsessed with that song. I love it so much for so many different reasons. It's one of the submissions from my Calling All Musicians All Call Challenge. So that song is called Murder in the Dark by Cate James and Ollie Kristian. You can find a link to that song in the description box below. So check them out. Please support them. Our co-host is here. Hello, co-host. Say hi. Are you going to say hello to everyone? Are you going to act weird again tonight? Here, let me move your seat so you can get up close. No, there's such a long story with that. She got a new toy and now she's obsessed with it. And that's all she wants all the time. So that's what she wants right now. So anyway, say hello to everybody. No hello. Okay. So why don't we jump right into our content, guys? We are going to keep moving with the Corporate Cults Review series. We are almost finished. We are going on chapter 7 tonight. So chapter 7 is where we are. I just saw a question. Are you planning on analyzing any more NARC songs? Maybe in the future, because there's lots. There's lots to be analyzed. I've only done one so far. You can find that video. I analyzed James Blunt's song, Goodbye, My Lover. I think it's Blunt. Is it Blunt or Blount? I don't know. But at any rate, hi to everyone in the chat. Hello and welcome. We're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. I'm excited because this chapter was really, really, really good. So I think I say this every live stream and I mean it every time. But I feel like every time I read a chapter of this particular book, it encompasses everything that I've been trying to tell you guys for a really long time. But this chapter really, really did it. Like this chapter is the thesis. Okay. Like everything I've been saying was in this book. And I find it so strange because this book was written in 2000. And I just started talking about it in 2016. Obviously, others have been talking about it, researching it for decades. But as far as it becoming a public conversation, this really started recently. So to see so much of what we've been saying in this book is not only confirmation, but it's also very concerning because that means that people were noticing this even, oh my God, 20 years ago. I was about to say 18 years ago. It is not 18 years ago. It's 20 years ago now. So people were seeing this 20 years ago. So that's cause for concern. Personally, I think it's starting to reach its peak and not in a good way. I mean, I think it's starting to reach its max levels, meaning we're probably getting ready to see the worst of the worst out of narcissists. But yeah, so we're going to dive right into our content. Corporate Cult, you need to get this book. If you don't have it yet, I think it would really, really be worth your money, regardless of how much you actually pay for it. So for those who are unfamiliar with why we're doing this, why we keep doing this, and why we're determined to finish it to the end, the purpose of our series is to redefine and reshape working and corporate culture to be a place where people can earn an honest living free of harassment and mental duress. If you hear the sound of like dinner plates clinking in the background, that's my other kitty cat having her evening meal. So I don't have dinner guests over eating in the background. She's eating her food and she just stopped, I guess, because I was talking about her. Anyway, this is why we are doing this. We are doing this because it's important. We are doing this because everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur. Everyone is not going to open their own business. That would be ideal. That would be novel. That would be great. But the truth is everyone is not going to. And even if you do, chances are you're going to need employees if you want to do anything meaningful, because you only have 2 hands and 24 hours in a day. And while you can maximize that and you can get a lot out of those 24 hours, you can get so much more done with more people. So at the end of the day, for the current, as far as it seems currently, we are going to always have employers and employees. That could change in the future. Who knows what might change? But as far as right now, we are always going to have this. So while we do, it should be a place that is not where you go to be mistreated. Like if you go somewhere to be mistreated, it should be voluntary. We won't get into what that could be or possibly look like. But if you want to be mistreated, it should be voluntary, not involuntary, especially considering we all need money. And those of us who are willing to work for it should not be punished for that. So that's kind of the purpose of this whole entire thing. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Y'all, this chapter was deep. Where did I put my book? There it is. Excuse me. So I'm going to do a lot of reading from this chapter because it was just too much to put on slides. It was way too much. So let's begin. Okay. So as always, so I just did a disclaimer, but I'm about to do another one. This one is more lighthearted and funny, but I believe they're important. Let's talk about this. Okay. This was a viewer submission. Shout out to Erica. Thank you for emailing this to me. Okay. So if you're not sure what you're looking at here on your screen, you're looking at a seamless, soundproof office phone booth, rethinking the modern workplace through affordable, sustainable, and flexible solutions that make more room for people at work. Okay. So let's take a look at what we have here. In the back, we have a grown adult male who I can't see his shoes, but I would almost be willing to bet they're hard bottom. They might be tennis shoes, they could be sneakers, but those could be some hard bottom shoes that he has on. That man has a family. Yep, I see a wedding ring. That man has a family. He has kids. He has a house with a yard and 2 dogs. Okay? Look how you guys have this man sitting in this office. Look at that. Okay? The picture is slightly deceptive. And if you maybe are a glasses wearer, you may not be able to tell that that is it. That's it. It doesn't extend forward in front of him. So if you can see his laptop, if you see that gray wall behind his laptop, that's it. That is where it stops. Okay? Okay. So let's talk about the absurdity and the ridiculousness of this all. Okay? Meanwhile, sis here is walking in front, strolling. She's having a great day, great conversation, not disturbing him at all, even though there's a glass door on the front. Okay. It's absurd. And he's probably some software engineer. He's got some type of job that requires a little bit more than that, guys. Okay. So the question becomes, you pull people into an enclosed office and make them sit in an open atmosphere only to enclose them again because their basic human needs never went away. They never stopped needing a place to have a private phone call. They never stopped needing a place to work on something individually and privately without distraction. They never stopped needing that place. Never. And now, I assume these are US dollars. Yeah, because that's the US dollar sign. Duh, PTE. For $3,495 US dollars, you too can have a seamless, soundproof office phone booth. Okay? It says, but it's so cozy and bursting with synergy. No, that's not his workspace. It's temporary. So the idea is, so he has another desk in this office. He has another desk. But the idea is when he needs to get away and get some heads down, focused work, this is where he goes. No, it's not a ramp. And right, I can guarantee, yeah, she's going to stay right there in front of that booth talking the whole entire time. And I promise you guys, they're not soundproof. You know how I know that? Because if they were soundproof, he would die. He wouldn't be able to breathe because no air would be getting in and out. Somehow air has to get in and out of there. Can you guys imagine how stank these little rooms get over the course of the day? People in there breathing, passing gas, burping, sweating. I'm always thinking about that kind of stuff. I think something's wrong with me because I'm always thinking about that kind of stuff. Like, God, I want to be the first one in there of the day. Not saying I'm all, oh, she doesn't smell at all and she's perfect and pristine. All I'm saying is if we're going to collect scents in this room, I want to be the first one at the top of the collection list. And I'll do my best to make sure it's not foul by the time you come in here. But anyway, it's not soundproof. It's definitely not vibration proof. So even if it is soundproof, the vibrations are going to get through people walking by and stuff. I'm the type to take one of those gigantic adhesive Post-it notes and just put it right on the front. And see, PTE, that type of behavior is what gets me pulled into offices for one-on-one conversations about my teamwork and my willingness to be part of the team. That's what gets me in trouble, putting giant pieces of paper over the front. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Steamy and stank. Okay. You know it's steamy and stank in there. It's the steam, I think, that gets me more because the steam is what's going to make it stick to your skin. Okay. So on this, now y'all have me laughing. On this thread, I found a quote in this chapter that fit perfectly with this picture. And I was so happy that I found it in time and not after the fact. But the quote is now off to the right. If you just look off to the right of your screen, it says, personal space is an important concept in developing individual identity. Corporate cult leaders know instinctively that depriving members of this personal space is an important first step in the culting process. And that's on page 138 of the chapter we're getting ready to go over. Okay. So yeah, I'm a germaphobe, real bad, really bad. But I feel like any CEO worth their weight would be a germaphobe also, because they would be able to process the cost of sick employees. You already want them here every day. You're shoving them in teeny tiny little office booths to do their work, to get away from everybody. So there's so much cross contamination. I would hire a team to clean all day. And I don't mean walking around taking out trash bags. That is not what I mean. I mean clean all day. They're wiping down handles, door handles, desks, countertops. Excuse me. I would probably have really high turnover on that team, not because we treat them poorly. We would pay them very well. They'd get benefits. We would treat them as well as we treat everyone else. They would quit due to the monotony of it all. But I would tell them that right up front. I would say, you are probably going to quit this job in about 3 weeks. I don't want you to, but you're probably going to, because you're going to get sick of wiping down doorknobs all day. I said, but you can make it fun. I mean, you can do evens and odds. You can, listen to music in your ear pods or earbuds, whatever. You can make it fun for you, but you're definitely going to be wiping down handles all day. Do you want to do that? They'll say yes, because they'll need the money. They'll take the job. They'll do it for 3 weeks. They'll quit. It'll be a revolving door, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So yes, personal space is an important concept in developing individual identity. I could and am planning on going off on that first sentence all by itself, separate topic, separate video, separate thing altogether, because it stands alone. But furthering it, corporate cult leaders know instinctively that depriving members of this personal space is an important first step in the culting process. Cue the open office. Okay? Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I know I clear my throat a lot, and I said I was going to stop apologizing so much this year, but I want y'all to know I'm not doing it on purpose. I have really bad, post-nasal drip. Sorry, TMI, I know, but it's a constant thing. So I really try not to do it in the microphone, but I apologize in advance. I can't help it. And the more I talk, the worse it gets. And it's funny because I've noticed some other YouTubers have the same problem. When they go live, when they first start talking, they're fine. But as they keep speaking, if there are any ear, nose, and throat specialists in the house, I'd be curious as far as to your take on this. But the longer we talk, the worse it gets. So it's almost like I get congested the more I speak, which is usually when I have to get off. So I apologize. I don't mean it. Just bear with me. You have a friend who takes scrubbing bubbles into public bathrooms. I don't blame them. One day I should do a video on my airplane routine. When I get on airplanes, I wipe that bad boy down. But anyway, let's get on our topic here. Oh, and I saw a comment regarding hoarders a little earlier. You guys want to finish that? So I think I figured out a workaround. I'm not sure who told me, so thank you if you're listening, to make the video smaller. So when we do hoarders again, I'm going to have the video like a fourth of its size in a lower right-hand corner, but I think I could still actually play it big like I had it. They just don't like it. It's kind of like naughty, but I'm not in trouble. But we're going to try it again with a smaller video. And I might even try to put like a filter on it, because if you change it, if you alter it in some way, it's no longer an original creation. So I'm working on it, and they just released an episode tonight that I am not going to watch just for you guys, okay? I am not going to watch that episode just for you guys so we can watch it together. And I think we might do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, we might do that tomorrow. Okay, so Chapter 7, Charismatic Leadership. Let's jump right in. This one is good, y'all. This is very, very good. So straight away on page 124, it says the volunteer nature of the emotional corporate cults of the new century demands a very different leadership style. Members join the organization freely and are given a great deal of freedom within the broad confines of the corporation. So what that is basically saying is that initially, when you first get there, you think, oh my God, I've hit the jackpot. This is it. Like, I have so much autonomy. There's a buzzword for you. I have so much autonomy. I have so much freedom. You know, my boss is so cool. My coworkers are so cool. Yeah. If you find yourself saying that, like on the first day, you might want to run. You might want to rethink your decision. Everyone's so cool. How do you know that? You just met them, but everyone's so cool. Okay. That might be part of that false freedom that is characteristic of culted organizations. But we won't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's dive a little deeper and see what else we have. So, furthering that thought on page 124, it said they don't feel culted because they don't feel culted, but they are because they are following a charismatic leader who appeals to their emotions. That is on page 124. So in regard to those leaders appealing to emotions, it says that they often appeal to positive emotions, but not always. They may also appeal to fear, uncertainty, and insecurity, to name just a few that are not positive. Excuse me. So in other words, yeah, they're going to appeal to your desire to have fun and be happy and everything's great, but they also, the flip side of the coin is that they might appeal to fear, uncertainty, and insecurity, just to name a few. Okay. And that's that weird flip. That's that weird, oh my God, what happened? Everything was going so well. What happened? We talked about this before in other videos. That's what's happening. They're appealing now to your other emotions. Initially, they were appealing to your need for acceptance and belonging and community and friends and family. And then once you get in there, they start appealing to fear and self-doubt and insecurity and instability. They start appealing to those things. And that's how they keep you netted, because a lot of people will then attempt to recapture those initial positive feelings that this person had about them. Like, oh, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to prove them wrong. I don't know why they started thinking that, but I'm going to prove them wrong. Love bomb and discard. Exactly. Long leash, tight noose. Exactly. Hey, maybe even an electric fence where you think you're free, but there's definitely an electric fence there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you have no idea. It says, the comment says it's like promoting psychopathy and ASPD. You have no idea. Oh, we're getting ready to get into it, y'all. I hope some of you have this book. Yes, it's 180. Yes. Okay. We're diving right in. Usually we save these heavy hitters for later, but we're getting ready to dive right in. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Sorry. First, I want to make sure everyone knows what the definition of charismatic means or is. Adjective, exercising a compelling charm which inspires devotion in others. Similar, charming, fascinating, full of personality, strong in character. Okay? So that is what charismatic means, full of charisma. Okay? People are drawn to them. Charismatic leaders. Okay? Now let's dive headfirst into this. Okay? Excuse me. This part was so long that I couldn't do slides for it. I couldn't. So he goes into the 10 standard. This is standard level stuff. This is basic. Standard group mind control techniques. Let's dive in. Let's go for it. Okay. He says leaders of traditional cults use a standard group of mind control techniques to ensure group conformity and control. Here is your list of 10. What I'm going to do is read down the list of 10, and then the highlights I made on each, I'll just read through it. So that way we don't have like 100 slides. Okay. Standard mind control, submission to leadership, polarized worldview, feeling over thought, manipulation of feelings, denigration of critical thinking, fulfillment can only be realized in the group, the ends justify the means, group over individual, severe sanctions for defection or criticism of the cult, severing ties with family, friends, goals, and interests. Okay, let's just pause and let y'all look at that for a second. So you would read this and be like, oh my God, is this some terrorist organization from overseas? Nope. This is going on in your local corporations, in your statewide and national corporations. This is going on all over the place. This is happening to your friends and family, a lot of whom can't even speak about it because some of them have what we would view as such good jobs that we would never imagine they would have anything to complain about. So my encouragement to you tonight, those of you who are listening, if you have friends or family who come to you with issues and they have quote unquote great jobs, and it doesn't matter the dollar amount, but the dollar amount seems to affect us. So if they have 6-figure jobs, super long titles, all these credentials, and they come to you with an issue and you brush it off like, oh girl, oh boy. I don't think guys say that to each other. Oh boy, oh man, dude, bro. I don't know how men address each other, but you say to them, person, don't complain. People would kill to have your job. Anyone would love to have your job. And what they might be trying to tell you is that they're going through this right here and they don't know how to speak out about it. And then I'm going to do a video on this someday. And that video is called Simplistic Advice. The whole title is Narcs Give Simplistic Advice, because they do. Because a lot of people will give the simplistic advice of, oh, just work a little harder, or, oh, just talk to them, right? Oh, I wouldn't pay it any attention. I would just put my head down and do my work. Okay. You think it's that easy, don't you? You think these people actually allow you to keep to yourself. That's what you're not getting. And honestly, that's what I wasn't getting in my early career, is that me keeping to myself is not viewed as a positive thing. You are to be with the group at all times. Your thoughts are with the group. Your actions are with the group. Your heart, your mind, and your soul are with the group at all times. What is this individual thing? What are you talking about? So let's continue. Let's go down this list. Submission to leadership. So I think that's pretty straightforward. I didn't highlight anything there. So let's skip to the polarized worldview. I pretty much highlighted this whole entire thing. So I'm going to read it. I put extremists, and again, language is important. People will read that word and think I'm talking about, the terrorist organizations, that are constantly fighting or being fought against in countries all over the world. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say extremists, I mean extremes. One extreme or the other. 180, you're on one end of the side or the other. It's either up or down, left or right, black and white, extremists, polarized. There's no gray area. There's nothing in between for extremist people. They're very extreme. Okay. So that's what that means. All right. So with that context, let's read this. Polarized worldview. The group is good. Everything else is bad. This is called either or thinking, and it is prevalent in children. By early adulthood, most people gain a better understanding of the shades of gray of life and adopt a dialectic style that allows good and bad elements to be considered at the same time. Some people who are raised in strict environments, religious or otherwise, fail to make this important change and thus are good candidates for corporate cults. Often, they are very competitive people whose only means of seeing relationships between organizations is to visualize their own company as good and the competition as bad. Okay? Y'all, I feel like we've stumbled upon a larger issue that hasn't quite been fleshed out yet. Yes, we've defined narcissism and we're still picking it apart, but I think we're starting to get a very good handle on what it is. But there's something else going on. And the only thing that I can describe it as is an adult mind that never fully matured. An adult human whose mind never matured, ever. And it seems to actually be stuck in like the childish, preteenish type years, but actually a little bit lower. It's in the years where kids they can't reason yet. So it either is or it isn't. I don't know what age that would be. Would that be age 2, 3? At what age do children not have they can speak, but they don't have the ability to reason yet? That's what we're dealing with, you guys. It's like a separate thing from narcissism almost. It's like a feature of narcissism. This adult mind that never grew up. It goes beyond immaturity. Arrested development that's great. I think that's great. I think you're onto something there. We're getting closer to it right there. It's a form of arrest. It's almost like malignant arrested development, MAD. We're going to call it the MAD disease. Malignant arrested development is what it is. And this paragraph here really grabbed that. This is called either or thinking, and it is prevalent in children. By adults, most people gain a better understanding of the shades of gray of life and adopt a dialectic style that allows good and bad elements to be considered at the same time. It's the inability to hold two things at the same time that is so interesting to me. We're calling it MAD, malignant arrested development. Okay. So yes. So moving on to number 3, feeling over thought. I thought this was interesting because we came to this conclusion earlier as we were going through this. It says people join specialist collections because they want deeper involvement in the organization. So those will be your cults. It says rational people join a collection of specialists because they want to concentrate on the task. Precisely. And the fact that wanting to concentrate on the task at hand is deemed a bad thing by these individuals, to me, should tell us everything that we need to know. Because isn't the task what gets us all paid? Isn't what we're doing, isn't the action that we're taking and engaging in, isn't that producing something that produces profit? So the fact that you would be more focused on basically having your own personal adult daycare, really, than actually executing on tasks that bring you more money, that should tell you everything you need to know. That's a fool. That's a true fool, among other things. But I just find it fascinating that there's even a difference at all. But there is. Okay. So number 4, manipulation of feelings. That was kind of talking about the transmission of the culture to new recruits, how peer pressure is used, things of that nature. Then the denigration of critical thinking. Let's stop here for a second. Oh, this sentence. I should have made a slide for this one, but I didn't. It says, this can go as far as characterizing any independent thought as selfish and rational use of intellect as evil. I would love to sit down with this guy and talk to him. I might try to get in touch with him. He and I need to have a long conversation. And if he's willing, we'll do that live. We'll do a live stream with it. I'm going to try to reach him. But it says this can go as far as characterizing any independent thought as selfish and rational use of intellect as evil, right? So I saw the words communism and socialism or something pop up, and he gets into that actually a little bit. But I think it's so interesting how for a country that's so anti-communism and anti-socialism, for a country that is that way, does not realize how deeply they engage in it on a daily basis. Isn't that interesting? This is what it is. And it's like, I guarantee you, there are some super extreme organizations in our country who think that they are anti this and anti that and, whatever, but they are actually following the playbook. You're actually following the communist playbook. They are what they claim to hate. I think it's fascinating. Isn't that called cognitive dissonance, or is it something different? When you can't even see like the very thing about you that you claim to hate about someone else, you are, and you engage in, and you participate in, and you prop up, and you allow to happen. You facilitate it every day, but you claim to be against this type of stuff, which brings me, No, we're not there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's coming. It's on a slide. It's coming. So where were we? Denigration of critical thinking. So the rational use of intellect is evil, and independent thought is selfish. And doesn't it feel like that's the country we're living in right now? For those who might be international viewers, I'm in the United States. If you're new, the rational use of intellect is evil, and independent thought is selfish. That's where we are. And that's kind of frightening that we boiled it down to this. We have a bunch of mad people, malignantly arrested development people who believe intellect is evil and independent thought is selfish. What are we supposed to do with that? Projection. I think that was the word I was looking for. Thank you. So let's move on. 6, fulfillment can only be realized in the group. It says corporate cult members are encouraged to stay at home with the corporate family. All right. And reading that sentence gave me chills up my spine because I remember like they want you to be around them all the time. I used to joke with my friends who wouldn't work at certain companies. Like, I feel like they just want me to sit on their lap and just rock me. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like if I just went and just sat on their lap and they just folded their arms around me and we just kind of rocked back and forth for about an hour, I feel like they would be really fulfilled as people. It would make them really, really happy inside. And I'd have to sit there and act like I liked it too. And the more I enjoyed it, the happier they'd be. That's what it feels like. They just want to sit with you on their lap and just rock you. Okay. So where were we? 7, the ends justify the means. I have to read this whole thing. I have to, because it's so important. It says in the movie, here we go. It says any action or behavior is justifiable as long as it furthers the group's goals. In the movie Primary Colors, a fictionalized Bill Clinton is played by John Travolta. This movie came out in 1998, by the way. In the capstone scene of the closing act, he justifies to a staffer his campaign's multiple gross breaches of ethics by explaining that if he didn't break the rules, the other party would win, and that would be a catastrophe. The staffer changes his mind about leaving the campaign. He stays with the corporate cult, which believes it can make its own rules because winning the campaign is a greater good than the rules being broken to accomplish the good. The campaign has to be unethical to build the kind of America it knows will be right for other Americans. It is willing to do wrong for a right cause. This is a totally unsupportable ethical position that is based only on relativism and denies that any absolute truth exists. The corporate cult creates whatever version of truth will produce the end it wants to achieve. So in other words, they just make stuff up. If it'll help them accomplish whatever their mission is, they'll lie, cheat, steal to accomplish those goals, because to them, winning is more important than anything else. I feel like we've had this conversation before. We are in deep trouble, you guys. And here's the other thing. I meant to say this during the disclaimers. Here's the other reason we're doing this. For those who are listening who might be like, well, I'm self-employed, or I'm retired, or I have a great job with a great boss. I'm not going through this, so this is not relevant to me. I promise you it is. I promise you it is, because it's happening in politics. But more than that, let's push politics to the side for a second. It's also happening to all of your favorite goods, products, and services. They are all run by corporations. So have you ever had something that you really enjoyed and then they stop making it? Or even worse, they change it, like they change an ingredient and makes it awful and you don't want it anymore? That happened because of somebody's potentially idiotic decision. You know, taste is an opinion, But my point is, if they make a decision that's so awful that they lose half of their customer base, that was a bad decision, and that could be disputed or analyzed with data. That was a bad decision. You lost 75% of your customer base when you changed that ingredient. It's happening to your favorite goods, products, and services. Some of your favorite TV shows. Have you ever had a TV show that started off really great, then ended up really, really crappy? Like the end was just absolutely awful. I guarantee you it's because it fell apart in the writer's room, because the writer's room probably is filled to the brim with narcissists. And when they first start the show, they're able to attract real talent, because real talent likes to work on things, new projects. And then especially if you start to see success, the talent wants to stay and contribute to that success. But once you let the narcissist start to run this little program that we're looking at here on the screen, once you let them start to run the program, you drive out your best talent. They'll flee. And then if they're friends with other talented people, they'll tell their friends, and their friends won't take your jobs. And all that leaves these people are the scraps. Okay? So they take the scraps, they pay them less than the talented writers. And before you know it, your favorite show has tanked. It's gone. DOA. And you're like, how could a show like this end up like this? This is how. Because talented people with self-respect are not going to tolerate this type of treatment or behavior. They leave. And the only people who are left are the people who will bow and nod to leadership and agree to stupid plot lines, ridiculous character development, people who won't challenge the writers at all. Because the thing about it is, you can have a great idea and you can carry it pretty far. Other people add like seasoning, okay? This is kind of trailing off a little bit, but I think it's important. Other people add seasoning to your idea. They're not supposed to take the whole dish over. They're not the main course. They add seasoning to your food, your food idea, your idea. And without that seasoning, your show has the potential to suck unless you are just brilliant. If you're brilliant, you might be able to make it work, but you still sometimes need that outside angle to contribute to the conversation and the dialogue, because you don't know everybody in the world. You haven't met everybody in the world. So you can't think up everything in the world. You need other brains. Anyway, how did I get digressed off of that? I don't know. I don't know how I got on that. But yeah, that's what happens to your favorite TV shows. This right here. Narcissists infiltrate and they ruin everything. I should do a show called Narcissists Ruin Everything, because they do. Let's move on. Group over individual. The group's concerns supersede an individual's goals, needs, aspirations, and concerns. Okay? You move as one unit. You are no longer an individual. So again, remember when we talked a couple live streams ago about how it seems they want to marry you? These people want to marry you. And that's what marriage is. Marriage is, I'm no longer an individual. You're no longer an individual. We are one. We are a unit. We move as a unit. We make decisions as a unit. We're a team now. We are one person now. Theoretically, hypothetically, one person, spiritually, legally, one person. So these companies want to marry you. And that is so inappropriate for so many different reasons. You do not owe marriage to your company. You don't, because you don't owe your life to them. Somebody will swoop in and say, oh, yes, you do. They pay you. They did not give birth to you. You do not owe your life to them. Okay. So they pay you right now. Temporarily, they're contributing to your life, but you do not owe your life to them. They did not rescue your life, and they did not give birth to you. Okay. These people want to marry you. They want to merge with you and become one with you fully. And the thing about it is, if it were a healthy marriage, it could almost be argued that that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's still a bad thing because you're still a human being. You're still an independent, freestanding person. You are not a company. But if the marriage is healthy, at least your enmeshment is positive and a happy experience, but you're still enmeshed nonetheless. Don't ever get that confused. So, how would I sum up what a cult is to someone? That's such a good question. Let me think on it. That's a good question because I'm going to give you a good answer. I researched what you told me to, by the way, Christopher, and I'm still researching it. So I just want you to know that. Let's move on. Number 9, severe sanctions for defection or criticism of the cult. Can I just say that defection is one of my favorite words? It really is. I love defection, defectors, defect. Love it. And it's one of those weird English words that means two things, because defect is something totally different. Although I think they all have the same root, whatever. But I love the word defection. It's one of my favorite words. Anyway, he says, this can even apply to negative or critical thoughts about the group or its leaders. When people leave your organization, do they stay in touch with colleagues from your company? If they do, your corporation is probably not very cultish. If they don't, you may be in a corporate cult. Leaders of corporate cults make sure that all ties with defectors are cut. That sentence just hit. Leaders of corporate cults make sure that all ties with defectors are cut. How dare you go against us? Like, where do these people get off, man? Who raised you? Who do you think you are? And I mean that in the literal sense. Like, who? What name? I need a name. I think I am blank. PTE, comma, I think I am blank. So I just want to know who these people think they are. Who do they think they are, actually? Which person is what I'm asking? Which person, which entity occupies you? Whom do you think you actually are? So anyway, yeah, all ties with defectors are cut. And if you'll ever notice that, if you actually quit a corporate cult, people you thought were like your besties, people you thought you would probably go into the future with in terms of friendship, you never speak to them again. Never. And my recommendation to you, this is going to sound ice cold, but I mean it. My recommendation to you is when they do finally crawl out of the cult and contact you, have minimal contact, if not no contact at all. Ouch. That's ice cold, right? That's cold. But let me tell you why. There's a couple reasons. One, typically this person is aware of what's happening to you, and they either say nothing or they do nothing. This is assuming they're not a flying monkey reporting back, right? So they say nothing, they do nothing, they don't speak out, nothing, for fear of their own job, right? Which is fair. I put fair in quotes, okay? So they see what's happening to their friend, they say nothing, they do nothing, they don't stand up for you, right? That's one reason you shouldn't ever speak to them again when they come crawling back. 2, the odds of them now having become a flying monkey are extremely high because they stayed in spite of what they saw happening to you. So that also means they don't think it can happen to them. Why not? Why do they think they're immune? That's cause for concern. So if they defect and quit, who's to say they don't still have ties back to this place to just report out on you, on what you're up to these days, so they can report back to their overlords? Because sometimes their overlords will let them go, but they keep a leash on their neck. I've seen it happen over and over again. I'll see people quit and they're like, I'm done, I'm finished. And they really quit. They put in their resignation, they pack up their desk, they leave for real. Within 2 months, they're back. And these are people who were generally very tightly in the circle. And they're like, sometimes you just can't let go of the family. And it's a family here, and I just wanted to explore and, just kind of spread my wings and just see. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Oh, I just wanted to see what was out there, and what I found is that there's no place like home. And I'm back. I'm here. And at least 2 cases, and if I really sat and thought about it really hard, but 2 for a fact I know of, they quit, left for 2 months, came back, stayed for like a year, then got fired. Fired. So they got the chutzpah up to quit. The narc overlord yanked their leash and pulled them back. They came back, gave their public speech, their shaming ceremony. So you have to go through your public shaming ceremony. Stay for a year, so it looks like it's forever. And then about a year later, they did not quit. They got fired. Do you understand? Once you walk out of that door, you stay gone. Don't you let these people snatch you back in here for fear. Who are they? Who are they? They are not God. They're not God. And I know some of you don't believe in God. What I'm saying is they are not the highest order. They're not. They are not the highest order. Why are you bowing to them? They are not the highest order. They're not. Who are they? Let's continue so I can go on with my commentary. This is going to be number 10, severing ties with family, friends, goals, and interests. I think we know this already. It says members are separated from their community by the many corporate sponsored functions described in the next chapter. So I guess he's going to get into some of the happy hours and stuff because I still haven't finished the book. So I'm only up through chapter 7. So I guess he's getting into that in the next chapter. I'm excited about that because I have a special hatred for those. Not because they're not fun, because believe it or not, I actually like to have fun. I know some of you may not think that. You might think I'm rigid, uptight, stale, dry, boring. And I could assure you I am the furthest thing from all of those things, from all of them. The thing is, I like to have real fun, not forced fun. I like to have real fun. So we'll get into real fun another day, but there is a such thing as clean, real fun, because somebody will hear that and be like, "Oh, she's getting all sexy pants." No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real fun. Okay, things that are legitimately fun, like giving me the option to leave when I want to. That's fun. Anyway, we'll get into that. So I think that was all of them. Yes. So this is the short list. So on this thread, and this is actually in regard to number 3, feeling over thoughts. So let me just go back to that one really quick. So this is on page 125. He says, by self-selecting to specialist collections that produce corporate cults, employees are primed to concentrate on the emotional feeling side of the organization. Okay. So I want to do a plug right now. He did not ask me to do this. We don't know each other. I don't even think he follows me. I follow him, but he does not follow me, I don't think. But I want you guys to go check out this guy, check out his channel, and check out this series in particular. I'm sending some your way, Joshua. I'm plugging you. So you should see an influx of my people coming to your channel. His name is Joshua Fluke. His overall channel is about like technology, software engineering jobs. And he started this series called Corporate Cringe. And to me, it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen because I've lived it. I've experienced everything he's talking about. And he, I don't think, realizes how profound he is. When he's talking, the things that he says, I don't know if he realizes he's profound, because when he says them, sometimes it seems like he doesn't quite believe himself. So Joshua, if you ever come across this video, I want you to believe in the things that you are saying, because they are more than true. They need to be heard all over the nation. You need to be doing TED Talks, because the facts, y'all, the facts are so pure coming from him. And it's funny on top of it all. So if you want kind of an idea of what I'm talking about with this series, Corporate Cults, or the Corporate Cults Review, go check out a few of these videos on his channel. Any one of them you click on is going to be funny, but the one that I saw first that hooked me was that one close to the bottom that says Corporate Cringe, LinkedIn is a giant meme. I think I laughed until I cried watching that video because it's so funny and it's so cringy, guys. Like the word I use for it is lame, Lame. It's so lame. But the word he uses is cringe, and it's also cringe. It's lame and it's cringy because it's so kiddie. It's like, what do you do for fun as an adult? And stay above the fray. You don't know how to have adult fun, do you? You don't have a clue. You don't actually know how to have fun as an adult if it doesn't involve corniness and absolute lameness. Now, believe me, I like to be goofy and have goofy type fun and be corny and all of that, all of the above. Okay. Y'all know my sense of humor is out of control. But as a way of life and as a permanent approach, no, 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 baby. This is why y'all can't keep customers, because you apply that same lameness and that same corniness and cringiness to your products and services. And people aren't this lame. They're not this stupid. Anyway, go check out Joshua's channel. I think it's pretty awesome. This series in particular is amazing. I think it should win some sort of an award because it's so true. It's so true. And that's all I can really say about it. So check that out. Let's see. Let's go here. This is on page 134. It says, perhaps organizational humility should be admired more than organizational narcissism. So once again, narcissism is rearing its ugly head, you guys, in this book. In the year that it was written, which was the year 2000, he's bringing it up and out. I want to do some research on him and see if he's done any more work, because I'd be very curious to read anything else he's put out, because he was already onto it. Like he's early PTE. Okay. And then someone sent me an article link talking about humble narcissism. So that'll be an advice from the experts. Part 4 or 5. I don't know which one. Part 4, I think. So thank you to the person who sent me that article also. But yeah, maybe we should start to admire organizational humility over organizational narcissism. Truly. It's concerning. It's concerning that we're celebrating narcissism. Let me say this real quick. So like I told you, there's elements of me that are corny and lame and all of that. Okay. And one of those elements is like growing up. The one thing I liked about America, this is going to be your 80s and 90s, was that we did seem to have a wholesome side. So like if you wanted to go somewhere and be wholesome, there was somewhere to go. There was something for you to watch. And I know that sounds lame and corny, but I'm trying to describe it better. Basically, the whole country hadn't gone like tawdry and just low level and narcissistic. And it just wasn't like that yet. It wasn't like that, y'all. It really wasn't. Like there were pure parts. There were pure parts to be found. And now I feel like there are no pure parts left. Like if I had a child, we would be hard pressed with this internet thing, this TV thing, you know, because in my mind, you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know something exists, then you won't miss it. But then there's a part of me that's like, to shelter them too much leaves them out of a lot of context. There's a lot of things they're going to need to know. It's not that you want them to necessarily know it, but they need to know if they're going to survive. So where's the line there? Where's the balance there? But anyway, I just miss that part of America. And I miss the people who claim to be that. Your so-called Christians, your so-called evangelicals, all of them, they've all converted to narcissism. They're all ranting, raging narcissists now, just about. There's a pretty high percentage. Because now religion has merged with politics. So now no one stands separate and independent and outside of that. Everyone is looking at it through a political lens, which was never supposed to be the case. they forgot who they served. Anyway, let's move on before I get carried away on that topic. We're done with the actual book. I want to close on this thought, and then I want to show you something else. We'll take a break, and then we will go into our after show, and then we'll close out, okay? But I want to close on this thought. Let me put my book down so I can get serious with you guys. I am concerned, after reading this book, considering everything we've talked about and read, and everything I've learned over the past few years, I am concerned that you guys don't know what freedom really is. And when I say you guys, I'm not addressing those of you in the chat directly. I'm saying it in general. I should have said people. I am concerned people don't know what freedom really is. I'm really concerned about that, y'all. And my second to last live stream credit in the Xanatos Gambit, the people who are okay with that system don't understand what freedom really is. So let's say you have like an 800 credit score, which is really good. Congratulations. And I mean that sincerely, because it's not easy to do. You get everything you want. You need credit, you get it. You need a loan, you get it. You need a car loan, you get it. House loan, you get it. So you're not necessarily seeing a problem with the system. The problem is, should you, Mr. or Mrs. 800 credit score, fall on hard times and throw off that equation even once, you stand the chance of being in the same boat as the rest of us. That is not freedom. It's not. They've given us the illusion of freedom in this country, which is amazing. Great job, by the way. Truly brilliant. We are under the illusion of freedom in this country, but we are not actually free, you guys. Not as free as you think. Not as free as you think. Even if you're a millionaire with a paid off house, you still got to pay taxes on it. That's not freedom. If you have a child, you have to put that child through some form of formal schooling. Even if you homeschool them, they have to be educated. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You know, I believe in education. However, the fact that you have to, or you'll go to jail. I don't know what the laws are now. You'll get in trouble. That's not really freedom. The fact that you can't, let me go back to my list really quick. Let's just look at this really quick. In a free country, we have to submit to leadership. If you challenge leadership, you're cast out. In a free country, we are constantly at the mercy of extremists, be they at one end or the other. That's not really freedom. We're not really free to do what we want and move how we want to. We're really not. Not like how you think. Okay? To put feelings over thoughts. So in a free country, we are penalized when we choose to use our minds and apply thinking and logic. So we really don't have freedom of thought. We really don't. Manipulation of feelings, okay? So my cross comparison is not going as well as I would like it to, but let's keep going anyway. Denigration of critical thinking. So in a free country, you could lose your job simply for asking a question or challenging something, which is what you should want. That's how things get stronger. That's how things improve. Did you know that there's a brainstorming technique? I don't know what it's called. I don't remember. But basically, you have an idea, and then you get a whiteboard or whatever, pen and paper, whatever, and you write out everything that could possibly go wrong with that idea on purpose. And you're supposed to do it in a group. And the purpose of that is multiple. There's multiple purposes to that. But the main one is you're thinking through every possible negative outcome of this idea and planning for it or planning around it. That's how your idea gets stronger. Narcissists hate for even you to even have a negative inkling towards their idea. When you're like, hey, I know you're about to go on a road trip, but it looks like your front right tire is kind of flat. Oh my God, you're always finding something wrong. There's nothing wrong with the tire. It's fine. I see it though. I'm looking right at it. It looks like it's down. Can we just go check it before you go on a road trip? No. Goes on the road trip, tire blows out. That's how they are. That's how they are. They'd rather the tire blow out than for you to bring it up to them that there's something wrong with the tire. That's how they are. Malignantly arrested development people. I'm saying that wrong. The grammar's off. Malignant arrested development is what we're dealing with. Ends justify the means. So in a free country, we've grown okay with people doing whatever they want, illegal, legal, ethical, unethical, as long as they accomplish their goal at the end of the day. And we've grown okay with that. Group over individual. So there's your freedom right there. Okay. Severe sanctions for defection or criticism of the cult. So we don't have sanctions over here, hypothetically. But if you go against this format, if you go against the group, you are going to get cast out. You're going to be in trouble. I thought this was a free country. I can't defect. I can't kind of like go do my own thing in a legal manner. I have to go along with you and all of your thoughts and your wishes, your wants, and your desires. I have no permission to exist, huh? None. I have no permission to exist with you. Severing ties with family, friends, goals, and interests. So it wasn't a perfect cross comparison list, but I think you guys get my point. I think we've actually forgotten what freedom really is. Like, freedom is being able to tell somebody, hey, I'm not coming to happy hour tonight because I'm tired and I'm going home and I'm going to sleep. Freedom is being able to say, hey, I'm not coming to happy hour tonight. See you tomorrow. That's adulthood. I could swap out the word freedom with the word adulthood. We don't know what adulthood is. I don't think we actually know how to be adults. An adult would tell another adult, I'm not coming to happy hour with you tonight. See you tomorrow. And it's fine. And in a free country, you would be free to do that and not be punished for it the next day and every day going forward in your career. That is adulthood. Adulthood is saying, I need 7 minutes in the bathroom this afternoon to take care of some adult things. I will not be rushed out of the bathroom because I am an adult. That is adulthood. That is freedom. Not sloped, inclined toilets to hurry you out of there as if you're in pre-kindergarten. Okay? Adulthood is saying, hey, I need to take this very important call with this very important client, and I cannot do it in this office. I'm stepping out. And if it's the end of the day, I'll see you tomorrow. That is adulthood. We need to have a long conversation about that. I might have to do that on a separate stream. What is real adulthood? What is true adulthood? True adulthood is not having to ask for permission. If you think about it, really, if we wanted to simplify it to its most simple elements, true adulthood is not having to ask for permission. Period. So my channel name, Permission to Exist, could almost be formed as a question. Permission to exist? Like you're almost, the full question is, may I have permission to exist, please? So permission to exist. So, we're gonna talk about adulthood. We are, because the more I look at it, the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of analyzing a lot of different things in our lives and lifestyles. We've been infantilized, and that's a whole different conversation. But that's true adulthood. True adulthood is not having to ask for permission, not having to sit in a teeny tiny phone booth to take a phone call because you're not allowed to leave the office and you're a grown adult male. Can we look at this? He looks like Rick off of The Walking Dead. Rick, is that you? Looking like Rick. Look what happened to Rick. You see? Now Rick is out of a job, sitting in a closed-in phone booth at some insufferable startup, having to play hand games and tiddlywinks and ping pong. And what is it with ping pong? What makes y'all think everyone likes ping pong? There's no other games out here other than ping pong? I guess because it's very teamy. That's what I mean. Like, let's have some real fun. Like, let's get let's get a life-size Jenga in here. A life-size Jenga puzzle with big blocks. Like, let's have real fun. Anyway, look at Rick. Yes, it's $3,000 for a box. You sent this to me. Thank you. $3,495. Oh, but you get free shipping and free returns. Y'all, they treat livestock better than this. Right, kitty? Come here. They treat livestock better than this. No. Do a little moo. Say moo. You gonna moo? Mwah. You gonna moo? Say hi. They're all there. They treat livestock better than this, y'all. Cows and cattle pens get more space than that. This little Tonka truck, this thing is a hot mess. She needs medication. Yes, you do. You need meds. I was gonna get her some CBD cat oil because she needs it. Yes, you do. You need meds, girl. All right. So with that, why don't we go ahead and go into our after show? Before we get there, once again, just considering the question or the thought, I am concerned you guys don't know what freedom really is. You think freedom is freedom of the vote, which it is. You think freedom is freedom of religion, which it is. Freedom of who to love, who to marry, that is freedom indeed. There's another layer of freedom that I think you guys either don't recognize or don't notice. And I say you guys, I mean people. I'm not talking about y'all in the chat or the viewers. People in general have forgotten this other layer of freedom, which has to do with true autonomy and true freedom, true adulthood, without asking permission from anyone to do anything at any time. Let me write it all down so I can just get all these ideas out of my head. So one more thing I want to show you, then we will go into after show. You may have seen this come across on stories, but I want to make sure you see it again. Your company does not own you. They are borrowing you. So hopefully that helps you see and understand what I'm trying to say by true adulthood. They do not own you. They are borrowing you. You are on loan to them, and it's you who's loaning yourself out. Okay. But a lot of these companies think they own you. Okay. They do not. They don't own you, your body, your thoughts, none of those things. They are borrowing you. And yes, you have to follow company rules and procedures and things within reason. You know, when you're employed, you can't just show up and be like, I'm going to do whatever I want today. You don't tell me what to do. Not what I'm saying. Not what I said. What I'm saying is within reason, they are borrowing you. They don't own you. Okay? Keep that in mind. Remember that always. Only you own you. No one else owns you. Only you own you. That's it. Okay? That is the heart of all of this. That's at the root of all of this. You own you. You belong to you. Nobody else. And once you fully understand that and fully internalize that, your life will begin to change. It will. So with that, we are going to move into after show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me and going through our corporate cult review, part 6 of Who Knows? But we are on chapter 7. I wish they were synced up, but we've doubled up before. So that's why they're not in sync. But we are going to go ahead and go into after show. We are going to take a commercial break before we do that. Oh, oh, glory. There we go. Okay. So let me do this. No, I want to add it to the show. Oh my God. This computer, I think it just seeks to embarrass me every time I'm live with you guys. Maybe it's to keep me humble. That's what it is. My computer is like, oh no, Miss Fussy Pants. We're going to keep you nice and humble and make sure you have some kind of, oh crap. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to do my commercial break different because I didn't see what I mean? Gotta stay humble. There you go. All right. So we're going to do our commercial break differently. Normally I have the screen that says commercial break, but me and all my wisdom made a mistake. So I'm going to play the intro again, which is going to say, welcome to the Hangout. We'll get started shortly. Obviously, we've already started, but you'll still get the song, which is the most important thing that I wanted you to have. So this song is called Murder in the Dark, featuring Cate James and Ollie Kristian. And if you listen closely, one of the reasons I really like this song are the lyrics. So I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of lyrics. I'm really not going to, but I had to put this song out because of the lyrics. So one of the lyrics is drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken and leaking on your skin. How does it go? Yeah, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. So in other words, you knew I or whomever was a broken person, and you took your sips anyway. You took big gulps anyway, with all this water leaking all over your skin. It's so deep. And then at the end, they say something, but your past is killing you and all your friends. Oh, so deep, y'all. Listen closely. I understand the words very well, but I don't know if they're coming through on the mic very well. So obviously I want them to, but I'm going to go ahead and play it for you again. I can't believe I jacked up my freaking commercial break. No biggie. We're still here. So, all right. So stay tuned. We're going to go on commercial break. I will be back and we will go into the after show. Okay. Here we go with Murder in the Dark with Cate James and Ollie Kristian.
High five, you're on, you're back to normal. This year's for you, for Cate, for me. I'll move the whole thing forwards. You look dated in a shiny suit. You look stupid on a Segway bike. Cheeks both glowing as you walk the hill. Tiny little headache, but you pop a pill. Murder in the dark, cider in the park. Riding on a pony, looking laughable. The children try to stone me, so I ride into the sun. Chewing on a brick, banking on a tip, fencing for a living. Yes, you look good, but you can't afford to show me. With my heart, I wish you well. It's like a horror peeking on your skin. Show up into your face, looking for attention, but your past is surfacing. A bloody case. The more you try, the less you get, which seems such poor advice. Longing for your own success is waving a goodbye. Face like a horoscope, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. Show up into your face, looking for attention, but your past is killing you. And all your friends.
I love that song, y'all. I love that song so much. I saw a comment that said, wouldn't have guessed PT likes this music. Let me tell you, like my musical preferences, I think it's because, I know it's because my mother was a music teacher. I say was, she's still with us, but was meaning in terms of her career, was a music teacher. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. And then also, she can play the grand piano fluently. Fluently. It's amazing. It's brilliant. Like I want to learn, and she tried. Oh, bless her heart. She tried. But you know what? I do have a keyboard. I think there's 72 keys on it, Yamaha keyboard. But I love music. And the reason I love that song so much is for a couple reasons. One, I think the singing is beautiful. The blend of their two voices is absolutely beautiful. You need to hear it on your own device. Listening to it through mine probably is not doing it justice. But their singing is beautiful. It's very musically balanced. So it makes musical sense to me, which is a concept I cannot explain other than I know musical sense when I hear it. And it makes musical sense. There's like variety in it. It's telling a story. It's slightly tragic, but also upbeat. Oh, I love it. And then the unexpected stuff, like, and your past is killing you and all your friends. Like, wow. So you're just going to go be deep, huh? You're just going to get deep with us just like that. But they also, I saw someone said they sound like the Beatles. I agree. It has like an old school feel. And they also sound like a group called Stars. Is that? No. The group's name is Fun, F-U-N. Stars is the, what's the word? Stars is the name of the song that I like by them. God, I love that song. But, oh, my musical range is all over the place. Would y'all like to know what my favorite hip hop song is right now? So you can just go ahead and judge me and I don't care. Well, I shouldn't tell you because I don't want some of my more impressionable viewers to go over looking for it. Like, oh, let's see what PTE is listening to these days. And like, oh my God. Oh my word. Such filth. No, my favorite hip hop song right now that I can't stop playing in my car is The Box by Roddy Ricch. And it's not vulgar like you think. At first, when you hear it, you're like, oh my God, that is so vulgar. But when you understand what he's talking about, it's not that it's any better, but it's not as vulgar as you originally thought. But God, I love this song. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's called The Box by Roddy Ricch. So that's what I mean by my musical preferences are all over the place. I just love music. I love it. It's one reason I want to live somewhere where my feet are touching the ground. There's nobody beneath me. so I can dance. I can't really dance in my house. All I can really do is juk, you know? And I can get a good juk going, but I can't dance in my house because then I'll be stomping and making all kinds of crazy noise on my neighbor's head. And I am actually considerate. So I'm only able to dance when I'm in places like dressing rooms and other places that are secluded. No one can see me, but they touch the ground. Anyway. My poor impressionable viewers. My impressionable viewers, don't go look up that song. Okay? I want you to stay pure and impressionable, I guess. Yeah, because if you're impressionable, you're pure, right? Anyway, no, I love music very much so. So with that said, actually, any musicians in the house, please, I would greatly appreciate your submissions still. I do still have 2 songs to roll out to you. One of those musicians is in the room, but I don't know if she wants to be identified, so I won't. Oh, the next one I have to share with you guys. Oh man, I love it so much. So much. You're only going to get a clip of it because it's a long song, but every time I listen to it, I just let it play out the whole time. I love it. And if you want a sneak preview, you can go check out my SoundCloud. I made one just for us, and I'm only going to feature artists that are featured on the channel. So there's a couple on there that haven't been featured yet. So those are the ones coming up. But you'll see the song I'm talking about. Love it. And you need bass. Turn up your bass for it. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm so excited about the music project, you guys. It's like rejuvenated me. I can't explain it. It's filled me with so much life. So much life. I love music. So before I get to your comments, I do want to say happy 70,000 subscribers. Is that still a true statement? Let me see. Because it was right at the edge, so it could change at any time. Well, it still says 70 according to my YouTube count. Let me go over here and just look, see if anything has changed. Hey, we're at 70,010. So that could change by the end of the night. 10 people might unsubscribe. But we did cross that threshold, so I'm going to go ahead and claim it anyway. Happy 70K to the channel. Welcome to all of you. Kitty Cat, where you at? You want to say happy 70,000? Meow? No? Okay. Well, happy 70K to the channel. Thank you all so much for your participation. I couldn't have done any of this without you guys, obviously. And, you know, I think we're on our way to 100, y'all. And who knows what happens at 100? I don't know. If something magical happens, I want my plaque, though. I want my silver plaque, YouTube, when we hit 100. And I will take a picture of it and show it to you guys when that happens, but it looks like we're trending in that overall direction. So I couldn't be more proud of the channel and the progress that it's made. So thank you to you all for being viewers of the channel, everything you've ever shared, every comment you've ever made, your participation, your super chats, your super stickers, the patrons, everybody. It's becoming a thing. This is like a thing now. We're getting to thing status. Hey, thank you for the super chat bamboo songs. I appreciate it so much. So yeah, we're moving on, y'all. And on that thread, along those lines, I'm trying to stall until 10 o'clock, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Actually, yes, I can. Come on, this is me. I can stall. I can stall out a conversation. So a couple live streams ago, a live stream or 2 ago, we were just tossing around the idea. Oh, well, duh, credit. It was the credit live stream, credit in the Xanatos Gambit. And I was tossing around the idea of possibly doing another channel, a separate channel that focused only on economics. Okay. And, you know, from a different perspective, obviously. So basically be from the perspective of permission to exist, minus the conversation about the narcissism, because to me, that's implied. To me, the fact that we'll have so much to discuss about economics and the economy and money and finance, you know, and the different issues that go into that is indicative that it's head up and run and driven by narcissists, obviously. So it's implied. So you won't hear me talk much or at all about narcissism on the other channel. But I wanted to let you guys know that I have officially launched Pettynomics. Pettynomics is my new channel, and you guys are the first ones to find out about that. And not only that, in about 60 seconds or so, the very first video will be available on Pettynomics. So I went and set it up to release at 10 o'clock p.m. So in just a few seconds, the very first video is going to release on that channel. Let me see if I can drop you guys a link. Give me just 1 second here. And we might as well just watch it together, right? Might as well. So let me see something. Oh, come on, YouTube. You know it exists. Channel. Oh, for the love. Hold, please. One moment, please. All right, let's see here. One second. I'm just trying to pull it up because what I can't do, I know how to do it. I have to do it from my phone. So give me 1 second. Close here. Switch account. Go to, where is it? Oh, I have to add it. Oh, for the love of everything holy. Hold on. Oh, come on. Why is it not showing up? What is the deal? See, I'm afraid if I click off and switch accounts while I'm live with you guys, it'll kill the live stream. And when I type in Pettynomics, it's not coming up in the YouTube search. Give me a second. Here you go. I got 5 subscribers. Look at you. Y'all are the best. I swear. Okay, let me click on the video so I can share it. I also want you guys' feedback. So all of this is obviously brand new. So please give me feedback, what you like, what you don't like. You have my email address now, permission2exist@gmail.com, but you can also email pettynomics@gmail.com. I got the whole name. So it is pettynomics@gmail.com. Let me go to the comment. You found it in your search? Awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Yay. Yes. So let me get the link. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to drop it in our chat. And then let me see if we can just watch it together. Why not? I shouldn't get a copyright strike on my own video. I wouldn't think that. But, you know, sometimes YouTube is, well, petty. Let me see if we can watch it together. Give me a second. Let's see. Minimize this and that. Let's go. So basically, while I pull this up, what we'll be getting from this channel is I'm going to purge my soul regarding the economy and money, finances, credit, debt. Actually, I'll pull up my topic list and I'll give you just a few of the topics so you guys know the things that we'll be covering over there. All right, paste and go. Boom. I don't know about that sound yet, but we'll see. I don't know about the blue logo. Oh, it's not even showing a logo. Interesting. But so the logo is not permanent. The white one might be permanent, but the blue one that you see, if you can see a logo, that might not be permanent. I just wanted to get it up. I'm so excited too. Okay, let's watch. Why don't we watch it together? I think we should watch it together. If I get a hit on my own video, I'm going to dispute the hell out of that. Like, come on, guys. Be for real. Okay, we'll watch it together. This is my first video from Pettynomics, guys. Okay, here we go. Hi, and welcome to Pettynomics, where we discuss the pettiness of our current economic environment and propose solutions to it all. In this episode, we are considering the question, whose responsibility is it to employ you? The question is not, whose responsibility is it for you to get a job? The question is, whose responsibility is it to employ you? In other words, whose responsibility is it to make sure jobs are available for you? Let's leave that question open-ended for now. The issue that I rarely hear discussed or considered from this perspective is that we have a public issue we are trying to resolve by private means. A child is born in the year 2000. By the year 2018, this child is considered a legal adult. Societal expectations are that this legal adult will do something with their lives, be that trade school, college, military, or getting a job. If they delay immediate employment upon graduation of high school, the expectation is they will look for and find a job by the year 2021. So between the years 2018 to 2021, the expectation is that jobs will be available for that child to find. So again, I present to you the question, whose job is it to make sure jobs are available? If you open up a small business, say a pet grooming shop, you are now an employer who potentially may need employees. You might decide to never hire employees and run it as a one-person shop. You might decide to hire a dozen employees and make it a full-scale operation. But you don't have to do either of those things, do you? If so, why? Are you now obligated to hire half of the neighborhood because you made an individual decision to open a business? And therein lies the dilemma, except on a more wide scale. We have a public issue, employment, or the lack thereof, being solved and resolved by private means, business owners. It makes no difference whether or not the business is small or large, private or public. The decision to hire is a private one. So the new question becomes, is it feasible to design the society dependent on the private decisions of private individuals? Assuming will and employability, why should a person place their livelihood and need for money in the hands of private individuals who can make decisions about those income streams at any time? How can societal unemployment or employment inequality be made better when the state of employment is dependent upon private individuals at all times? Solution. My personal solution is that there should be guaranteed jobs available provided by the federal, state, and local government. Standing jobs or forever jobs. Jobs that simply will not go away, are guaranteed, diverse, and varied enough to cover a wide range of the populace at varying levels of skill and need. Normal, regular jobs will not go away. Your local bakery will not go away, and your corporate job will not go away. These things will remain, but it will force them to become the one thing that they are not, which is competitive. The knowledge that employees can quit at any time and take a guaranteed government job for similar pay will force employers to re-examine their approach with their employee populations. Some businesses will go out of business overnight due to a mass exodus of employees. This is a good thing. Many companies are only able to function today because the employees have no other options. The way the system stays balanced is, once the normal job systems have been purged and redesigned, they will create environments designed to attract and keep employees. They will be ethical, fair, kind, and functional. They will rid themselves of the toxic leaders and managers that destroy morale and will. They will have to, as they will know employees can leave and get a government job at any time. The government job will not be designed for long-term stays. Perhaps even it can be contractual, offering 6, 12, and 18-month contracts with waiting periods in between. It will be basic and standard. No parties, no frills, no perky extras, just a job, a guaranteed job you can count on. Yes, you are still expected to show up and do the work. Yes, you can lose your guaranteed government job. It's not free money and it's not free work. The difference is structure. Policies and procedures are extremely clear. Warning systems are extremely clear and fair across the board. If a person is getting dangerously close to losing their government job, they will know. And if they do enough to lose it according to the rules, they will. It matters not who you are or who you know. There are no clicks. The system will be designed so as promotions, if any, are expected and predictable based on data, not opinions. The government job will be more rigid, which is to be expected. The goal is for someone to have guaranteed employment should their attempt at working in the private sector fail. It's also designed to keep people afloat economically while they transition in between private jobs if their goal is to stay in the private sector. Long term, this should ease the impact of unemployment for the individual and ease the strain on existing systems designed to assist individuals in economic hardships. The majority of the problem is the reliance on the private sector to supply our literal lifeblood, money. These are just a few of my thoughts regarding employment, private industries, and public issues. What are your thoughts on employment and whose responsibility it is to provide jobs? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Together, I believe we can make our economy far less petty. All right, you guys, and that's it. So, what did you think? Can you guys tell that I have a lot on my mind? If it's not evident by now that I have a lot on my mind, hopefully it is. So thank you all so much. Thank you guys for subscribing already. I'm so excited. I already have subs. Hold on, let me see. Let me go look. I have 21 subscribers already. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. That video has been sitting there for 2 days because I knew I was going to release it during a live. So I've been like, I'm so proud of myself, y'all, because when I finish a video, the first thing I do is release it. I can't sit on them. So to finish this one and just have it sitting there for 2 days while I kind of got everything set up, amazing. It made me feel good. So this is a channel I do plan on committing to. Let me see something real quick. Oh, let me flip my mic. There we go. This is a channel I do plan on committing to. It's not that I didn't plan on committing to a deeper PTE. It's that a deeper PTE really is content heavy. Like, and there's so many layers to it, and the different topics that I would have gotten into, they require a lot. They're not really like touch and go type topics. And not that the economy is either. It's just that the economy is a little bit easier for me to talk about because, let me do something real quick. The economy is easier for me to talk about because I live it every day versus like the other theories and the higher level stuff. I don't live that every day. I just think about it every now and then. I will continue a deeper PTE because I recently ran into some new information that I find very interesting, and I'm trying to learn more because it kind of expands some other theories. The issue with me though, y'all, is I really try to produce a good product for 2 reasons. One, because I feel like you guys are worth it. I just believe in quality content. But 2, if I ever want to go back and dub this stuff later and like make them into packaged, I guess, MP4s, packaged like CDs. Do people listen to CDs anymore? How old are you, PT? I don't know. Blu-ray, I don't know what the kids are doing these days. But if I ever want to package it up, I want it to be as clean as possible so the editing for that is not quite as bad. But I'm recognizing that's just not a reality. Because I watch intensely other people's channels who put in way less effort than I do, and I still sit there and watch. So I'm like, why do you hold yourself to such an impossible standard? Like, why do you do this to yourself, girl? I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe years of dealing with narcissists and having to be perfect all the time for them. But it's also a personal thing too. Like it's also, I'm not going to put it all on them. There's a big part of me that likes to do things correctly. I just do. To me, it's either right or it's wrong. So anyway, I'm trying to get over that, but that's one of the major roadblocks. That, and I still have to work a full-time job. So once I get rid of that full-time job, a lot of things will change. A lot of things will change. But I do want to give you guys a sneak peek of the topic list. I'm not going to show it, but I'm just going to read it. Some of the topics for Pettynomics. The foundation isn't there, meaning the financial foundation that's supposed to support people as they're born and launch into the world is simply not there. One of them is called Banks Should Be Open Every Day. the redesigned school, time budgeting, people need money. Let's see, generational wealth and the cutoff. I'm going to do a breakdown of how I feel people should succeed through a career. And I'm not saying succeed. Lord have mercy. I'm not saying succeed. I'm saying succeed. It's a different word, meaning progress and move forward. So I'm going to do a whole breakdown on how that should actually look, so we don't have all these talent gaps, which are ridiculous. Home ownership, that's going to be a rant. Do you have enough money to deserve to live? Let's see. And criminal interest, meaning interest rates, criminal interest. So those are just a few of the topics. I hope you guys are excited, because I am, because these are purges. So my first couple of videos with PTE were all purge videos. I was purging my soul. And then as my soul got purged, I leveled out and kind of just started doing regular content. So these initial videos on Pettynomics, all purge videos. And once I purged, we'll get into some more balanced, stable topics. Yes. Yep. This is the word I was using. Yep. This one. Secede. Sounds like succeed, but it is secede. Yes. Okay. So with that, let me finally get into the most important thing, which is you guys' comments. Okay. So let's do that. And then we will wrap the after show. Oh, wait. Do y'all want to talk about the video real quick? The one we just watched, the preview? I'll just make a quick commentary on it. So basically, all I'm saying in that video is that because work is required for a standard human adult, who's capable of working, whose job is it to supply those jobs? And then people will say business owners, but all business owners are private entities with the exception of the federal government. So are we going to put the state of our economy in the hands of private people? Because that's what we're doing. And if so, we need to hold those higher people to a higher standard, meaning we need to purge them of all these narcissists, because we are relying on you, the employer, to keep our economy stable, to keep people employed, to not harass them out of a job. If somebody earns their way out of a job, they've earned their way out of a job. But in the process of them earning their way out, they should have been warned all along the way. It should be no surprise. There should be no surprises with this. It should be very straightforward. It's not something to be played with. Money, people's livelihood, their ability to eat, their ability to pay bills, that's not something to play with. So if we're putting all this faith and trust in these business owners to supply something so crucial, we need to hold them to a higher standard of accountability. But we already know that a lot of them are not going to do the right thing, even if you paid them to. So how do you resolve that? So one person, Andrew Yang, a candidate has put out the UBI, which I do like UBI. I like this also. And if I had to pick, I would actually pick the job over UBI. And I'll tell you why. You might be surprised to hear me say that. I would pick the job over UBI because the job gives people purpose. It gives you something to do. It gives you like somewhere to go. It lets you socialize with other human beings, which is important. You can build a skill with the job that I'm proposing. With the UBI, you're not doing any of those things. You're not building a skill necessarily. You might take that money and build a skill. You might not. That's your choice. So I like it, but I think we need to pair it with something else, because what will happen is a total collapse of these people's industries. We won't have to do corporate cults anymore, because if the government made available jobs to any able person and people who are not able, but who are still able to work, anyone who's willing, essentially, the argument could be made, do you really need those benefits when we have a job for you right here? You're saying, oh, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. And we're telling you, we will hire you and we will pay you this money. So do you really need to receive those benefits if we are giving you a job? And it's not burdensome, it's not abusive. You know how they love to make stuff suck. when it's helping people. It's not going to be any of that. It's a job. One of my topics is called made up jobs. So one of the made up jobs is going to be, like I was telling you guys in a couple live streams ago, people who just clean the city, your city cleaners. You're not trash collectors. They already have a job. You're not street sweepers. They already have a job. Your job is to target a block and make it look amazing by the time you're done. It's a job. It's something to do while you flee your corporation. And what will happen is, while folks are fleeing, they're taking these jobs that are guaranteed, kind of getting resituated, reoriented, figuring out what they want to do, where they want to go. Because again, it's not designed to be long-term. Then hopefully by the end of their contract, they've set themselves up and gained at least one skill that they can move on to a different type of job, who maybe is in such fear of losing employees, they'll act right. Because that's a scary thing. When you know your employees have nowhere to go and nothing to do, it sets that situation up to become very abusive. It does, because the employees are trapped. But if an abusive, narcissistic employer suddenly understands that my employees can leave and get a guaranteed job, they don't need my little funky reference. They don't need my reference to get this job. They will get it and get paid. It'll cause them to tighten up and straighten up a little bit regarding how they approach their employees. And in series like these, corporate cults will become irrelevant and unnecessary because it won't be happening anymore. Part of the reason that this is happening is because many people have nowhere to flee to. There's nowhere to go. So all I'm saying is let's give people somewhere to go and see what happens. So anyway, those are the types of topics we will be getting into on Pettynomics. All right. So I hope you're interested. I'm excited. All right. So let's go through some comments and then we will get out of here. So congratulations. I think that's in regard to the 70K. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So weird. It's weird. Sometimes I wonder if it's real. I'm like, is that really 70,000 like real people? I guess so. Let's see. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Schooling laws vary where you are, but homeschool doesn't mean free either. Do you mean in terms of like school supplies or are you talking about like how you have to buy curriculums? Is that what you're talking about? See, I take issue with that. Why do I have to put in my child's head what you say I have to put in their head? Excuse me. We can agree on certain things like reading and writing and math. We can agree on those things, but there's some other things I don't agree with you on. And if my kid doesn't test correctly on this, you're going to flunk them and then their future is kind of jacked. That's not freedom. Let's see. And believe me, understand that I understand the need for a process and procedure and rules. And I'm actually a huge fan of processes, procedures, and rules. I'm not a huge fan of those things when they don't make sense and when they're not actually serving their purpose. All right, let's see. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Sheffy. I appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers. Yes, we're on the way. Trying to figure out what to do for 100K. What do you do when you hit that? Let's see. You want a wrench? Absolutely. I thought you had a wrench. Let me see here. How do I do this? Oh, I can't give them in here. Okay, I can't give wrenches in this live stream platform, but when I watch it back, I'll give you one. Nikki, I thought you had a wrench. Let's see. Thank y'all for subscribing to the second channel. Yes, ma'am, Pettynomics. We're going to pick it apart. We're going to get so petty with this economy. And part of what I plan on doing with that channel is explaining things that actually make no sense. The things that I finally have come to understand, explaining them in such a way that they make sense to other people so they can get mad about it. Because half the reason people aren't mad about it is because they don't understand it. Once you understand it, it should pepper you up pretty sufficiently. But the other thing with that channel is that I'm also going to have some sort of a solution attached to everything. So it's not just going to be random venting and moaning. It's going to be me venting and moaning and then saying what it could be or what it should be and what it would look like. to give them some ideas, because occasionally I think they come across a video or two of mine. I'll be listening to a debate and I'll be like, oh, that was good, Andrew. Where'd you get that from, darling? Who did you pick that up from? Are you campaign staffers listening to these channels, taking notes? I hope you do. I'll give you your whole speech. Just put me in the back room and put an AirPod in your ear, and I will talk to you through the AirPod. I'm more than happy to oblige. God, oh God. There are certain people, going up against them would be so much fun for me, but I probably wouldn't be able to have my fun because within a few minutes, they'll get so angry with me, they'll probably leave. And all I will have done is asked a question. With my hands folded in front of me, legs crossed at the ankles, perched, just asking simple questions. And within a few minutes of me asking those simple questions, they're going to storm out of the room. So I probably wouldn't be able to have my fun. Let's see. Thank you. That's the goal. I don't want to bring y'all more of the same trite, worn out, tired things that you've heard a million times. Like, God, nothing has changed yet. We haven't changed our approach yet. You know what I was thinking about the other day? How okay, so I was born early 80s, 82. So I feel like I watched the world morph multiple times. So I watched it during the 80s. Then I watched it morph in the 90s. Then I watched it morph in the 2000s, and it has not changed since. The only thing that's changed are cell phones in the sense of smartphones. They weren't smart in the early 2000s. They were just cell phones. So they became smart, and Uber and delivery services. And I would say that's been the biggest change of the past 20 years. We can get things delivered now, pretty much anything, food, whatever. We all have smartphones, and that's pretty much like it. I don't see much difference. So your comment just got me thinking about that, how I think part of me not seeing that difference is because there really isn't much difference, because everyone is so intent on being everything we just talked about in this live stream. Compliant, don't go against the grain, don't be different, don't rock the boat, don't say anything different. Just be normal. Oh my God, y'all. Ooh, let me see if I can find it really quick. I bet you I can, because I'm already in that account. Let's see here. Excuse me. I came across a video earlier. I'm not going to play it because I think that I would get I'd get a strike on this one. It's someone named Jocko, Jocko podcast. Do y'all know who that is? I've never heard of this person before. So I don't know who he is, what he stands for. I haven't done any research on him. The title drew me in because I was hoping it would be clickbait, and it actually wasn't. And I was really disappointed. But the name of the video is Why You Have to Play the Game at Work. So I click on it thinking I'm going to hear something really profound. And within the first 5 minutes, these guys are telling everyone, no matter what they're telling you to do, just do it. Just do it so you can succeed and get ahead. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. So you're just telling people to lay down. Remember, this is the land of freedom, home of the brave. We're super brave, right? Super free. But when you walk into a workplace, you completely lay down all your freedoms. You lay them down, and you bow and you get down and you lower your head and you do as you're told. Wow, this is America? I thought this was America. That's what I thought. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought. I thought this was America, but you're telling us when you enter a workplace, no matter what it is, you bow, play the game. And guess what playing the game gets us? Game playing and game players. And guess what that gets us? A lot of artificial reality. And guess what that gets us? A lot of real consequences that stem from not facing reality. So basically, you're telling people, be fake, be phony, stifle yourself, crush your voice, silence your voice in the name of having a damn job. Guys, please, I've told you this a million times. There's jobs out there. And I know everyone doesn't live in a city that has a booming economy. I understand that. And I understand everyone cannot just pick up and go get another job. I understand that. But my challenge to you is to get creative. This here internet thing here, this here internets can bring you some money. I'm telling you that. These here internets can bring you some money. So you don't necessarily have to have somewhere to go in your local city. If you have a computer and you're listening to me say this, you have the potential to make some money. Okay. So, I'm saying get creative. I know it's hard. Trust me. Trust me. I know it's hard, but it's worth it. And it's better than being stuck in a situation where you have to basically sell your soul to be part of the organization. That's what he's basically saying. Sell your soul. Sell your soul for the money. Is what he's basically saying. Oh man, I don't think they'd be ready for me. God, they would hate me so much. It would be split. One half of the country would absolutely love me. The other half would absolutely hate me. But I bet you I could convert them. I could convert some of them because I understand how they got that crazy. So basically, it's almost like I'm looking down at a roadmap and I can see their path to their particular crazy, their particular brand of crazy. So because I can see the path, I can trace it backwards. And in tracing that backwards, I'm able to communicate with them as we walk backwards on that pathway, if they're willing to come. Some of them have to be drug, but others will come freely. And once we backtracked and I've walked back that crazy, I might convert them. Oh, it would be brilliant. It would be brilliant. I would love to debate the orange one. I don't think anything, y'all could just lay me down after that. You can put me in the ground. I'm done. To debate the orange one would give me so much pleasure. Endless. It would fuel me for life. I wouldn't need food anymore. I would have so much fun with that. So much fun. Oh, man. So I'm just scrolling. Did he propose that? Did he propose the jobs? I hope so. I just want to see people thinking like, what's driving me crazy, y'all? And forgive me if I revisit this topic often, but I mean it. It's in my spirit. I have to get it out. I'm so disappointed in the lack of innovation. And I don't just mean technology. I mean trying new things. For example, most of us have phones. I think that's a safe assumption. I think it's also a safe assumption, cell phones, that a lot of those cell phones have GPS on them, correct? Google Maps, Apple Maps. I think Android might have a version of Maps, not sure, right? So with all this data flowing, why don't we have traffic lights that are responding to the GPSs yet? Meaning, in a very, very crowded and busy city, for every address that's pinged into the GPS, it's processing it at a high level. And it's saying, 1,000 people are heading this direction, but the lights are synced for 50 people coming the opposite direction. So why don't the GPSs sync up with the traffic lights and anticipate the people that are coming towards them? So then they can prepare for surges, ebbs, and flows. Additionally, why do the lights not change when there's nobody there? I know they have sensors in them. Why aren't they calibrated to change when there's nobody there? There's nobody there. Why are you still green? Why can't we go? That's what I mean by innovation, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Innovating on little things that are part of our day-to-day life that would actually make our lives better, that would give us more free time back, that would improve our lives. Why have we not done things like that yet? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I'm so sad about it too, because it's like we have all the tools we need to make it happen. But we are determined to bring it down to baseline for these goofies who have taken over the world. And because they can't process at a higher level, they don't want anyone else to process at a higher level either. Or because it's hard. The same ones who are always crying about hard work don't want to do hard work to try something new and different and innovative and fun. Here's what I mean by real fun. So I think it would be fun to have a playground that is for adults that is basically filled with oversized toys, jumbo seesaws, like jumbo swing sets, giant kickballs, things like I would play out there all day long. I would be out there all day. Like things like that. That is real fun for adults, is what I'm saying. Where's the innovation? I hate this lack of innovation. I can't take it. One more app. I think my head is going to explode. We don't need another app. We need things. We need tangible things. Let's see. Thank you. Says you're an excellent role model for economics, so positive and workable. Thank you. Because I believe in it. Because I see the form and I see the function. Like I see it, like it's supposed to work. Honestly, y'all, the economy is supposed to work for everybody. And it's basically supposed to work like this. You work, you contribute your skills, whatever, talent, and you're compensated for that. As a result of you contributing at your highest level, your company does very, very well. And as a result of them doing well, you're paid well, they're paid well, and whatever product or service they're providing is actually decent. It's really, really, really good. So people keep buying it. And when they keep buying it, you stay employed. And when you're employed, you continue to give your skills and services at a high level because you're happy. Your company makes more money. They reward you for it. They reward themselves. It's supposed to be a self-feeding cycle. The cycle is supposed to keep going. And the reward is supposed to be, so some of you might think, oh, she's anti-rich people. She's against millionaires. No, I'm not. Darling, I want you all to be millionaires. And if not millionaires, 100,000-aires. I want you up in at least the 100,000s. I want us to have money. That's all. I want us all to have money. And we all don't need millions of dollars because a lot of us wouldn't know what to do with that. But I would like for us all to have comfortable money is my goal and objective. And we can. That's the thing. We can have comfortable money. But right now we are in the grip of a very narcissistic system. We are fighting a very unique battle, you guys. It is a unique war. This is the war. And it is so unique. It is very unique because it plays with the mind. And that's why it's so unique. It makes it such a unique war. It's a very unique battle that we're fighting. But yeah, it's supposed to work that way. And then in an economy like that, it's supposed to foster new ideas and products and services and inventions that improve life. Why do people want to stay stuck in the Stone Age? I don't get it. All these newfangled forgidamadoos and doodamadoos. Shut up and put this iPhone in your hands and click that. Yes, that's a home button. Click it. Good. Now you see that green one? That's a messaging button. Good. Click that. Now close that. Now double tap that. Now swipe away. Good. You're going to learn this. That is an iPad. They are in the same family. Say it with me. Family. Family. Thank you. It is not an Apple. It is an iPad. Let me stop. I'm just teasing. I'm having fun. All right, let's see here. Scrolling. You decorate CDs with acrylic paint. I found a CD book the other day, but I had no CD player to play them in. Isn't that sad? I'd actually have to buy one. I love my CDs though. Let's see. Just scrolling through your comments still. Absolutely. Yeah, corporate can chip in because corporate is half of who ruined it for everybody. Corporate can fix it. We talked about this a couple streams ago, how we believe corporate should clean up in front of their businesses. And I could not agree more. And as I ride around my city, I'll see a or a business, period. And then the street or the road right in front of it, because it's not their property, they don't feel inclined to clean it. And I couldn't think of a more foolish decision, but it is what it is. That's what people do. They feel like it's not mine. It's the city's job. City should clean it. And it's not necessarily about the should. We could stay on should all day, but them doing or not doing their job is impacting how your business looks. It makes you look run down. So yeah, I think they should clean the streets and stuff in front of their business. That should be part of their corporate responsibility, is to clean up. They need to chip in more ways than one. Like, I think it's amazing how in America, only recently have we started rolling out maternity leave and paternity leave, and it's still not nationwide. And every time they do, they put on this big celebration like, yes, we're offering dads time off. Yes, we finally have maternity leave. And it's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have rolled that out real quietly, let your employees know, and moved on. Don't make a public spectacle. Because what you're basically saying is, we've been actively obstinate, arrogant, and ignorant regarding this issue for decades. And now we finally have decided to do the right thing regarding this, and we want our pat on the back. F your pat on the back. Put your pat on the back on the ground and spin. We're not giving it to you, okay? Because you should have had that a long time ago, all right? I just want America to practice what they preach and align. I want them to align with the values they claim to have. And often there's no alignment. You claim to be all about family, but you're just now rolling out maternity and paternity leave? Interesting. You don't practice what you preach. You're hypocrites. And I say you, but I live in America, and I'm an American-born citizen, born and raised. We. Not you, kitty cat. We're not going to include you because you don't vote. I know you want to, but you can't. If I take you up there, they're going to send me out of there, and they might arrest me for trying to have you vote. You don't even know how to click the keys. God, I hope y'all heard that. I can't wait to listen to the playback. So she just chortled like we talked about, but it's very quiet. But if you listen, you can hear it. So I said, you don't even know how to click the keys. And she went, it's like a grumble under the voice. So she just did it again. Like, you know how kids will be like, It's funny. Cats are weirdos. They're certifiable. Let's see here. I like the idea of bartering. I'm surprised this app does not exist yet, or it probably does, and I just don't know. But why haven't we gotten to a place, going to innovation again, where, like, let's say I buy, what's a good example? I have a perfect example for you guys. So I bought a plant. This is last year, but I bought a plant and I was determined to keep it alive. So I bought those little globes. They're like really pretty and they're colorful, and they're globes, and they have a stem on them, and you put water in it. And you flip it upside down and you stick it in the plant. And the idea is the water comes out of the stem and feed or waters the plant continuously. Well, they came in a pack of 3 and I only had 1 plant. So of course the hoarding gene in me was like, just hold on to them for when you get more plants. Yeah, I have a hoarding gene. I'm acknowledging my hoarding gene. Are you acknowledging yours? So anyway, my inner hoarder was like, just hold on to them until you get more plants, which I was never planning on doing. But anyway, if we had a trading app, I could put those extra 2 globes on there and be like, 2 extra globes from a pack of 3. Don't need them. What would you like to trade with me? And there might be a gardener out there who just had 2 globes break on them. So the gardener might be like, well, I've got a couple packs of extra toilet paper. I just bought them. They were on sale, so I bought 10 packs. I don't need 10 packs. Would you like 2 packs of toilet paper for your 2 globes? Absolutely. Swap. Boom. They have the water globes they need because theirs just broke. I got some more toilet paper. Everybody's happy. Why doesn't that app exist? I trade. I swap. Swap me. Swap meat. Yes, I know about Craigslist. Know all about Craigs. Know all about Facebook. All about that. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different app that swaps regular stuff. Like if I go to Costco and buy a 500 pack of spoons because I like to be prepared, maybe I keep 100 spoons and swap out those other 400. Maybe someone's getting ready to have a party and they don't want to pay for all those extra spoons. So they're willing to trade me spoons for body wash. I don't know, but I like it. I like the way we're thinking in 2020. We've got to give these babies some ideas because like I've shared with you all many times before, and I wouldn't tell you anything I didn't mean. These babies are not that smart. Okay. And I mean that with the utmost of kindness. These babies aren't that smart. They're not. They're masquerading. And a lot of times they know they're masquerading, but they have to keep up the front, to keep it all going. But these babies aren't that smart because if they were, they would have done this already. Okay. So we have to give them ideas. I don't care if somebody takes it and makes it. Please make it. We need it. Hey, shoot me a little check to say thank you. That would be cool, but whatever. We need people making this. I can't make all this stuff. I don't like narcs, but how can we ethically purge them? That's actually a good question. So obviously we can't engage in a real purge, which tomato. But the purge that I think we can engage in is the high awareness that we're building, which is building and growing by the day, which is causing the recognition of these narcissistic behaviors, which is increasing low tolerance for it. So the more that we can increase which is an oxymoron, but the more we increase zero tolerance regarding this type of behavior, they will either have to gather amongst themselves or they'll have to just stop. They'll just have to stop or behave like a normal person. Baby, go on. Go. Or behave like a normal person, which is hard for them. They're not going to be able to keep that up very long. It hurts their ego and their spirit and their soul to admit that they were wrong regarding something. So, that's the only way we can purge them ethically, is to adopt a zero tolerance policy. But we have to get it to where it rolls upward toward the industries and the policies that actually affect everybody. So the more global things, we have to start getting them to see, okay, sorry, let me back up. So that's one way to do it, the way I just described. The second way is to engage and appeal to their inner narcissism, which I've tried to do before. I'll try again in the future. But what I would love to be able to get narcissists to see is that we understand that you're morbidly greedy. You're greedy to a morbid degree, and there's nothing we can do about that. However, do you see how your greed is cutting into your profits? The other thing you care about, money? Your greed, and I could actually show them on a whiteboard, is interrupting your income streams. It's effing up your money. And I feel like if I can get a narcissist to understand how them being so narcissistic is impacting the one thing they do care about, which is money, they would change. Not that they wouldn't be narcissists anymore, but they would engage in the behaviors that don't harm other people, because they would recognize that that's what brings out the best in people. And that's what gets people to actually give the things that you want. It's still a form of manipulation, but at least you're not hurting people, damaging them, destroying them, discarding them. When you do that, Mr. or Mrs. Narcissist, you're wrecking your long-term profits. And I know the only thing you really care about is money. So why are you messing up your money? So I feel like we have to appeal to their inner narcissism is a secondary form of a purge. But that's way harder to do. God, that's harder to do. It requires a lot of work on your end. Let's see. Just scrolling. Right? A lot of people are like this. I'm unhappy if I can't work. Right? A lot of people go stir crazy. So I think one of the big fears is, oh, if you give things to people, They won't do anything. Are you insane? Human beings are so busy. They're busybodies. Human beings are natural busybodies. There's going to be a few people who'll sit around and do nothing, but even they will get bored eventually, and they'll actually have money to do things. But yeah, most people like to work. They want to work. They want to do something. They have to do something. Like I've heard many stories of grandparents retiring and then volunteering at their kids' schools, their grandkids' schools. They don't have to do that. They want to because they have to do something. So I think their fears are unfounded. It's interesting. They fear being taken advantage of. So they don't do anything out of fear of being taken advantage of. But typically, they're also the same ones who are taking advantage of people. So is your fear that everybody else is just like you, Mr. or Mrs. Narcissist? Is that your fear? That the whole wide world thinks and acts just like you? So you have to strike first to prevent any damage? Is that what the situation is? Let's see. Yes, goodness. I couldn't agree with you more. People need to have rest and therapy after being at an abusive job. People get PTSD from that. Yes, they do. If you're ever able to quit and you have the finances to support it, please take some downtime. If your job is abusive, please take some downtime. Rest, relax, unplug from them, purge everything, throw things away, throw away those mugs, those cups, those pens, those Post-it notes, everything, toss it. Get rid of it. Do a digital purge and just get your mind right. You have to, because if not, you'll carry the psychopathy from the last job over into the new job. And you don't want to do that, because then you're kind of doing exactly what narcissists do, which is you walk in distrustful. So you behave in certain ways and they're like, what's wrong with this person? We haven't done anything to them, and now they're off and weird. Now fix your soul, heal yourself before you move on, because it's not any different. It's still a relationship. It's still people. The only difference is intimacy to an extent. I'm sure they would take over that if they had it their way. Let's see. I didn't know this. You're describing what happened to Walmart. Walmart took extreme advantage of employees after the crash of 2008. Then Amazon came along and employees had somewhere to go for more money. Exactly. And that is their greatest fear. Because keep in mind, these companies have no loyalty towards one another. They will poach your employees with zero shame. They don't care. They only start to care at the corporate level. Why did you leave your last job? Rebecca, you know why I left my last job. Stop. Stop this. Let's stop this. Okay? Ask me real questions. Let's go. This is their greatest fear. That's why I can't wait for the next big disruption. I wonder what it's going to be. Because it's not that I don't want these businesses to exist. I appreciate Walmart. I appreciate Amazon. I appreciate, to an extent, the things that they're offering. It's that I want them to exist at their highest possible good and treat their employees well also, because there's no reason not to. We can be better. We have the capability to be better. We should be setting the example for the world. Somebody has to. So who's going to? Who's going to lead the world in terms of how to do business and do it right and do it ethically and appropriately? How can we expect other countries, with our ethnocentric selves, how can we expect other countries to stop behaving in certain ways when we can't even act like adults? Who's going to be the adult on the international stage? Somebody has to do it. And right now, it looks like a bunch of preteens. No offense to the preteens. You haven't been here that long. You just got here. Let's see. I'll think about it. I'll strongly think about it. At 100K, show my face. I'll think about it. Because that's certainly something. That's not nothing to shake a stick at. So I think it might be worthwhile. I think you all might be owed it at that point. I just have to make sure the space looks okay. Oh, see, that's one of the main reasons I don't, because if I did live streams and actually showed my face, now I'm concerned about my hair, my face, my makeup. Is the house clean behind me? This feline, I'll put her on and talk behind her head. That would be funny. Oh, I should sit on the floor, sit her in the seat, sit on the floor and just talk. Let's see here. Questions, are there kryptonite? That's what's going to get me walked out on. You know, it won't be anything I said. I won't be rude. I'll be just as calm and polite as I always am, but it's the questions that's going to get them. Just silver bullets. They're going to walk right out of the room. Let's see. Y'all aren't too far off. Let's see here. Oh, this is funny. You're not too far off. Let's see. All right. So it looks like I have basically reached the bottom of the comment thread. So it has been fun. We've been here about 2.5 hours. I keep telling myself I'm going to do it quicker, like an hour live stream, then I'm out. Yeah, right. Get real, PTE. So they're usually going to be long. Although I almost popped on earlier and just did a random one because I wanted to vent about something, and I still do. So I still might. Let me see something real quick. I might do that. Not tomorrow, but maybe this weekend. But we are doing hoarders tomorrow. So those of you who will be around, we are going to do a hoarders live stream together. I'm going to try to do this one without getting in trouble this time. I didn't get in trouble last time. It did weird things and I freaked out, so I stopped it. So we will do a hoarders watch party tomorrow, all things holding steady. Calling all musicians still, do submit your music. This is an ongoing project, so there's no deadline, but I shouldn't say that because then you'll never send me anything. So maybe I will put a deadline on it just to light a fire. But I appreciate all submissions thus far. If you haven't been chosen just yet, no worries. Keep working and keep sending me your music. I handpick them for different reasons. So if I didn't pick one, it doesn't mean your work isn't good. I've been nothing but impressed from everything that I've received so far. But, every song that's chosen is chosen for a reason. So anyway, musicians, please reach out and please get me those songs. I'd highly appreciate that. And with that, there we go. Should be on that one. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and set our video up to get us out of here. Again, the song is called Murder in the Dark by Cate James and Ollie, Kristian. I hope they were able to catch the show, but I do believe they are in the UK. So I think they're all asleep right now, which is sad because I wanted them to watch it live. So they'll see it in the morning. And I'm also going to shoot them an email and let them know that their song debuted tonight. Kitty, do you want to say anything? No? Okay. All righty. Well, guys, I appreciate you so much. So much. We are going to continue our series. It looks like I'm actually going to finish this one. I'm so happy and so proud. So we'll continue this on. We'll probably finish this around like May, I'm thinking. Probably April or May will be done with Corporate Cult. So I hope you're enjoying it. We got a few more to go, but I'm going to go ahead and close us out with our outro, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Thank you all so much. Bye-bye. High five, you're on, you're back to normal. This year's for you, for Cate, for me, I'll move the whole thing forwards.
stupid on a Segway bike. Cheeks both glowing as you walk the hill. Tiny little headache, but you pop a pill. Murder in the dark, cider in the park. Riding on a pony, looking laughable. The children try to stop me. So I ride into the sun, shooting on a brick, banking on a tip, fencing for a living. Yes, you look good, but you can't afford to show me. With my heart, I wish you well. Face like a horoscope, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. Show up into your face, looking for attention, but your past is surfacing. A bloody game. The more you try, the less you get, which seems such foreign eyes, longing for your own success is waving a goodbye. Face like a horoscope, drinking from a vessel that you knew was cracked and broken, leaking on your skin. Show up into your face, looking for attention, but your past is killing you.